permit me to say that it's time for us to feed more into the prosperity aspect in terms of thriving and growth. And my logo, my team is key. And the meaning of key is keep educating yourself. And the theme of this program is the voice, which is I come in as the voice of investment in the property world. I'm classed as the property search, a search agent, a property finder, anything you want to call me, I am, that has to do with property. We do more in the consultancy, liaising and finding a property, negotiation in terms of the offers, post and completion of a property in terms of renovation, interior decors, letting out, rent to buy, for living and also for investment. However, we are all into it. And also the property consists of the location, basically. So your location will help us guide us into what exactly you want, and then the cost in terms of what would be looked out for to help us come through a narrow search. And that would help us know how much you want to invest, and also the purpose of the purchase, which help us guide through the long-term plans that you've got, either for residential or for investment. What I class as a well-being of life is, it guides me through, and it's brought me thus far, is failure is a cumulative effect of a mismanaged destiny. An early start will help you guide through to an early finish. Failure is a cumulative effect of a mismanaged destiny. Yes. And it narrows down to an early start will help you finish early. If anyone comes by me, I would say I want to retire at 40. I don't know how true that is, but I work towards it, and I know it would come to pass. Retirement doesn't mean that I have to stop, because I don't know how to stop. But I would stop working for anyone, and I would just build on myself. So to give me more time for myself, more time for my family and my kids. And I've got some questions to ask everyone. You don't have to answer, it's just going through my head. Is how many of us here wear or look exactly what we have invested? I know we all want to look good. I know we all want to travel. We all want to live around the world. I do that as well. We want to wear nice clothes, jewelry, which I love as well, and I travel as well. But our investment should speak for us. If we invest, all those things comes by. But if we dwell more on what we look rather than what we should invest, then that doesn't speak well of us, because we have not amounted into anything. So also, how many of us hide under our positions? We hide under the theme of I'm a mister, I'm a husband to my wife, I'm a wife to my husband. But actually, what have you invested? What's the value of that position that you have given? Have you tried to say, or can your husband speak and say, you know what, if you are alone or with me, this is what you have actually added to my value? Or can you stand alone? Most of us hide under the tent of my husband will do it, my wife will do it. And then we don't actually join together to fulfill these achievements into what we can achieve together and add values to each other. Investment is key and help us to achieve these aims. And then I'm a risk taker. I'm quite young, but I love to take risks. I've dived into loads of businesses. I started doing business right from when I was, I think, 14, whilst I was in secondary school. So I used to have okay, I think they're trying to show my biography now.
Having overcome a significant challenge early in life, she is deeply passionate about empowering herself and others to achieve their goals and dreams. Her name is Mrs. Moturayo OLOGUNWA, and she is an MISAP analyst by profession, with experience in both the private and public sectors in the United Kingdom. She holds and has a strong passion for information and data management. She holds a Bachelor of Science Honours degree from London Metropolitan University, and she is currently pursuing a master's degree in clinical drug research at Queen Mary University of London. skills in researching and gathering information have enabled her to excel in analyzing and monitoring data quality, which naturally led her to explore opportunities as a property finder and search agent, giving rise to more apartments. Venturing into the property industry has expanded her knowledge and inspired her to see the broader potential of investment. Beyond work, she is a fun-loving individual who travels and meets people from diverse backgrounds. Exploring cultures, especially through food, is a passion of ours. But don't let her love for food and good cuisine fool you. She enjoys them in moderation. Ladies and gentlemen, join with me to welcome on stage Mrs. Moturayo OLOGUNWA.
Thank you very much. That was too hyped. Yeah, back to our discussion. Risk is all it takes to achieve our goals, whether it works and whether not. At least it would have been said that it was tried. So if you trust the process, even when you don't understand, that's my team. I trust the process even when I don't understand it. In as much as I've put my mind to it, it has to be achieved. However, how many times I try. And in preparing for these investments, you get to have to work towards your savings, your credit score, your mindset to invest, because you can be refused as many times as possible. So the moment you say, oh, I've been refused once and I don't want to try again, then that means you don't have the mindset to want to do it. So, but the mindset to keep trying, I've got 2 clients that have been, declined 3 times, but actually they are homeowners now. So the moment you keep trying and keep going ahead, just follow the line, follow the process, and trust it, you will eventually get there. So I'm of the magic that there are times to work when you work and in the leap phase, and that's the time for savings. And there are times to tread softly. The time to tread softly is when you start the investment. So when you tread softly, that means you're actually looking at the stakes, what is guided and what to propose in terms of achieving your goals, whereby by the time you come to a retirement age or even before retirement age, you would start earning exactly what you've put in. And people will be wondering, how come? How did she get there, or how did he get there? But actually your money has been working for you because you started imputing early. So in terms of the property views, we've got loads of properties. In terms of people do not understand, they can even invest starting from as low as £35,000, because more of north side, you can get into the property portfolio as low as that and start getting money in. And the reason for this lowest purchase price gives the highest rental yield. Do not ask me why, and that's because there's a stake in you understanding that the lower purchase price you go into, the higher rental yield you get. Let's imagine you bought a house of about 400,000, or maybe it's 300,000. You might not get as much rental yield up until like maybe 10% or 8-9% thereabout. But when you start from about 35,000 above, you tend to understand you can get as higher as 12 to 13% rental yield. How that works is maybe because you've put all your purchase into it, because it's a cash buy. Anything below £50,000 is a cash buy. So maybe the logic behind the fact that you've saved towards dropping that massive amount is what has profited into giving a higher purchase rental yield. So that's what we dem into. We also dem into residentials as well, but more into investments, because that gives you a reassurance. You'll be assured that some people do even live in a rental house and would say to you, I've got a portfolio of about 3 or 4. Everybody has got their own stakes, they've got their own determination, whatever they want to do. Some do not see the value in terms of building their own self rather than they are building for their future and their kids. So that's where the investment comes through in terms of the projected finances. It helps break down how much you would be getting and how much you have imputed, and in the future, how much would have been come into your pocket. And I'm of the opinion that the moment you buy one, You do not have to invest more with another savings, because you can actually build on the equity to get more and more by building your portfolio. Most people get scared and say, you know what, I'll be paying loads of tax, so I do not want to buy more property in my name. But that's where the SPV come through, which is the Special Purpose Vehicle Limited Company. It comes with different type of codes exactly, and is only basically for property. It helps the government to seclude your personal tax from your investment tax. So you are not actually paying tax based on your personal one, so it's different. And then that means that anyone at all can do that. Even age is not a barrier. And the moment you open the SPV company today, tomorrow you can get a lender to actually buy the house, because it's an asset. And because it's an asset, they are not declaring that the money should come from your own personal income. It should come from the company, because it's a rotating company. It's coming from the investment. So because they are understanding that it's either you're using it for short let or you are using it for rent, so definitely the money is confirmed and it will come to them as repayment. So that's why more of a SPV in terms of investment is much better. And loads of people go into this now. And also it helps you to avoid the Section 24 tax, and then obviously you get more money to borrow. So that way you are not having to save so much. So you buy one to get four, and that's the actual breakthrough. Then in terms of the funding of the investment, there are loads of trend to get options for mortgages. You can get your mortgage via the fixed rate mortgage. You can get it via the tracker mortgage. You can get it via the standard variable. You can get it via interest only. And you can get the repayment or joint mortgage. I love the joint mortgage one because obviously it builds the bond between couple. So when you are working with your husband, is either you decide, oh, husband go first, wife go first, I'll go the second. So both of you are not actually losing the first-time buyer right. Or either you join together based on your personal income to boost your affordability. So you can, because the moment, I mean, we've got loads of breakage in marriages now, I suppose. But the moment, I mean, it's not a yardstick. The moment you have the mindset that, you know what, I'm working with my husband, and you have the mindset from the very go, it helps reduce this breakage, because you've got loads of stake in it. And then the moment you are both inclined in achieving this purpose of working together and building investment, it reduces you thinking, oh, I can opt out tomorrow and leave the house. I can opt out tomorrow and leave the marriage, because you'll be thinking, oh, I'm going to lose my house. I'm going to lose. No, it's not a yardstick though, but it gives a strong backbone. So whenever you're doing more of this investment, I would advise more of the interest only, because people will be thinking, oh, if I'm getting £500 as a rental yield, how much would I be paying the bank for repayment? But when you are doing interest only, you can actually pay maybe just between £100 to £150, and the rest is yours. Because it's not a house you are living in, so why would you want to do the full repayment? Because there will be equity growing on the property, so there's no point paying the house. As soon as you think about it in the next 10, 15 years, or I want to sell it, how much you've actually bought the house would have increased double or triple by the time, and you would have collected your rent all through the period of that years, and then you would have equity on it, and you can pay off the bank and then reinvest. So that way you are growing portfolio and you are adding less money into it. Before you know it, you are having 10, 15 houses. That's what these Asians and these Indians do. You will not see them in the office. But we don't trust ourselves, we blacks, sorry, because normally we cannot do it alone. We can have a joint account, joint limited company, and everyone have a stake or shareholders. I come about 2, 3 people and say, you know what, let's open a company and let's put money together. Everybody, depending on amount you've put in, we can actually purchase houses either to buy and to resell, or buy for investment, and then let's work together. But because for some reason we all want to do it by ourselves, but it takes long. But the moment you come together as one and build this opportunity to actually empower yourself, it makes you achieve more. It doesn't mean, it's not how far, it's how long. So there's opportunity to own joint investment, there's opportunity to do it by yourself, and there's also opportunity to do it in groups. So these are all the opportunities in terms of the mortgages, in terms of cash buy, and I do more in renovations as well as interior. I put it out for short let. So it's all packaged in one. As soon as I help you through the process of buying, and then you buy the house. If you want to use it for rental, I put you through to the right agent, which you don't have to stress about your monthly rent. The agent takes charge of this rent, and then if peradventure there's any maintenance works that needs to be done in the house, the agent deducts a little fee from your amount you get monthly, and then use it towards this, and you still use your money towards whatever you are thinking to use it for either maybe paying your debt every month. And yes, I'm on point. Yes, and so it's a great opportunity for everyone to think about. I'll be sharing some flyers at the end of the program behind, and then you can reach out to me, and we can take you further from there. Trial will convince you, and if anyone knows me, I put my mind and trust in my job. I do not get attached at all. I just focus. So thank you very much for this opportunity, and I appreciate it.
Hallelujah. Please, before you go to sit down, I was actually telling you you have 5 minutes left, but it's good you stopped, because I have a question for you. I have heard so much about let to let. What exactly does it mean, and what is the benefit of this?
Let to let is mainly for people that do not have loads of money to buy. Yeah, so you can actually reach out to a landlord, although it comes with loads of expenses in terms of my own charges. I would not hide it because 1 in 200 landlords are the ones that would actually leave their houses for let to let, because they know you are getting double of what they are giving to you as a rent. So if they are giving it to you at 700, if you are using it for maybe for short let, you will probably be getting maybe 2,500 above. So they are thinking, oh, why can't I do it? So the few landlords that do this now are the ones that are not in the country, mostly, or the ones that are maybe at the age and don't care. They just want to just get something at all. So before you can get something like that, it is quite rare. So there's a list of a check, a search. And it's actually good because the moment you get it, you tend to put it under lease. You get the landlord to actually draw you a lease of at least 5 years, because you would have redone the house to a level. So you don't want the landlord to come maybe after 6 months or after 1 year to say, you know what, I want my house back just because you've redone it. But if there's a contract in place, before the end of the 1, 2, 3 years, you would have gotten all of your expenses back, and the rest will be your interest. Yes, sir.
I think there are other questions.
Thank you. You really did justice to what we needed. Now, I want to talk about the ability to recover from financial problem when you have a downtrums within the housing market. If you look cleaner, some of us are into our 60s and we're going. So we need that fertile information. How do you recover from financial downtrend in the 30s, in the 40s? If you're telling me now to go and buy a property of 500, you want to send me to my grave, because I've got time to enjoy my life. So if you have invested, if you have not invested, so I just want you to say something to the younger, older age, whether they've got properties before, the care in terms of the change in the financial situation of countries, so that they don't go into risk investments and then they end up in and that will get high blood pressure, sugar level, everything will be, and that will be a problem.
Hallelujah.
Yes, aside the ones maybe that have got a property already that they're living in, except they do not want a residential one. If it's mainly for investment, I would advise to go as low. So if you go as low, it tends to not give you so much pressure in terms of growing this investment. If you start as low as maybe 35,000, which some people do not think is possible most times, or it is, not minding the location, because a property is key. Irrespective of however where it is, everyone would live in it. So some people think, oh, because it's somewhere, oh, how come I want it in London, I want it in Newcastle, I want it here. But the location shouldn't matter. In as much as you've bought the house and it's yours, then you would definitely get this rental yield. So, and then like I mentioned, if you have a good credit score, or either if you are using it by cash, you would you get your better gift, and then you will grow equity. And for people over the age of 60 that might not be able to get the mortgage based on their age, which I suppose they will, you can then start by using an SPV company, sir. So the SPV company is irrespective of age, so you can get the mortgage because they are not thinking about your own special purpose vehicle limited company. Yes, it's only secluded for property alone. So that separates the personal income tax from your investments. So the government does not intercede because you'll be putting in expenses in it. So that way, the lenders would give you any amount of money just about immediately you open it, because they are thinking it's not you paying the amount back, it's the investment paying itself.
You had a question. Mommy, you had a question, ma. Okay, let me quickly.
Credit, you mentioned something. I've got youngsters, like 30, who are looking into buying in today's. You said even they shouldn't give up if they tried once, yeah, and second, sometimes youngsters, right? They've refused me once, so let me just so will it not have a kind of effect, adverse effect on their credit ratings if they've been, refused at all time?
Before you answer the question, mindful of time, I want us to just ask all the questions so that in one go. Somebody from the choir said to ask you what rent to buy means as well. And I think there are a few hands up at this end as well. Evangelist Bukun, you wanted to ask a question?
Sorry, my own question is this. Let's say for somebody that wants to bring money in from outside the country, you want to bring money in for probably the down payment to start to purchase, and you don't really have all these, your credit, whatever, and all these things there. How do you go about it? But you can probably pull funds together, then you want to have a property. What's the best way to go, particularly when, can you bring the money and buy the property with conjunction with your spouse or family, or how do you go about such instances?
My question is, when comparing buying properties for investments, is it advisable to buy council houses? Because I know most council houses are in the bathroom. So comparing investing in buying a council house and a normal residential building, what's your advice on that? Thank you.
Sorry, we're going to stop with the questions here. If anybody else has any question or you need further clarification, please see her, but I'll let her answer the question.
Mommy, in the question you asked, you can try as much. For my own line, I tend to guide people before even the application has been put through. The few ones that I mentioned had done all the mistakes prior to when they knew me. So, but if you know me, you come to me first. I first of all ask you for your credit score, credit report. I look through that with my broker team. So we ensure to see if we can try even at all. So, or if not, we tell you all the guided steps to go through before even giving it a try. That way, we are not putting any application in yet prior to getting rejected. But yes, ma'am, no problem. And for the rent to, is it rent to buy? It's buy to rent, I suppose. Is it rent to buy to rent? Yeah, buy to rent. Yeah, so you can definitely, obviously. Yeah, you can. that's open to the negotiation between the self and the landlord. So you can definitely do that. If you see that the house is fit for purpose, and then is either for a rental or you are actually living there and want to continue living there, I mean, it's left if the landlord is willing to sell to you at a price. bringing in money from abroad, yes. Okay. The last person I finished purchasing his property was for a man that lived in Nigeria. He lived in Nigeria, but he has a British passport, but he's never worked here. But I will just give it as an instance. So he never thought it would happen, actually. So, but he owns a business in Nigeria. So prior to you passing anti-money laundering checks, so you have to definitely be able to defend how the money came into the country. So if we can see the traces, how the money came into the country in terms of how you've accumulated the funds by savings to use that towards your deposit, then it will be allowed. But know fully well that if you are sending the money from Nigeria to UK, it has to go through either from your Nigeria account directly into your UK account to pass the anti-money laundering checks, or you go through the agent that has got a Nigeria account as well as a UK account to show the line, so that if you are sending from your Nigeria account to their own Nigeria account, then they will send to their own UK account, and from their own UK account to your own UK account. That way, you've passed through the anti-money laundering check and there won't be any issues. So we can use it towards the deposit of the buyer. You can do it either single-handedly, depending on your affordability, or you can do it with your spouse. It's no issues at all. Council, you can get a council property, but I personally, depending on if you know the stakes of the property beforehand, I would advise, if you know and you're sure about it, yes, it's okay. Aside that, I would advise to just get more of the outside property rather than council houses, because there are loads of underground issues that are not pronounced prior to buying.
Thank you very much. God bless you. Sister Moturayo OLOGUNWA. I believe we all have flyers with our details and everything on. I always get amused when I hear talk about anti-money laundering checks and everything. So I wonder, how do our governors and senators get money in? Don't they go through anti-money laundering checks? But we'll pass on that. Glory be to God. Hallelujah. That tells you there are ways around these things if you see a consultant and somebody who knows what they're doing. We're very quickly going to move into a subject which I am particularly interested in. It talks about health and wholeness. Hallelujah. One house, please. One house, please. That would really, really help us. Hallelujah. Health and wholeness. Understanding cancer. We hear a lot about cancer. So many people are scared, worried about it. The prevention of it, early detection, and the treatment.
Dr. Hayo graduated with a bachelor's degree in medicine and surgery.
Go on. Please do go on. That will save me having to talk. Please play it, introduce him.
He holds a master's degree in health planning and management, with over a decade of clinical experience, including health insurance and cancer advocacy in Nigeria. He currently practices emergency medicine in the United Kingdom. He is married to his lovely bride, Jadisola